today, Jesus. Help me, God.
Just give it up to the Lord.
Everyone just pray with me. This is being put on my heart right now. Alrighty, welcome back to Jacob V Weekly. I want to start by reminding you to reach out and donate to Caddyshack of New Hamel, Illinois. That's at Caddyshack IL on Facebook. Dear friends and supporters of the show, and they save cats, and they're not like rich or like pocketing the money or like being abusive or like killing anything. So it's great. It's great stuff.
Wait, the cats aren't, or the
cats are kept from the murder, as are the proprietors of the shack.
Okay.
So it's a good, safe, clean operation over there. Similarly, if you want to support the show, the only way to do that financially to support us directly is patreon.com/JacobV. I think it starts at $4 a month. And shout out to all of our patrons thus far. We talked in more depth about them last episode. If you haven't heard Jimmy Style with DD from No Antics, go check that out. No Antics has new material dropping, it seems like monthly right now. We just had a new video that I got to direct here in my backyard, and that was a lot of fun. Go check out Grocery by No Antics. Blinded by Stereo, my other band that I play in, is releasing a vinyl record on June 25th at the Heavy Anchor. Save that date. We just started favorite songs on Spotify for the month of May 2022. I make a playlist on Spotify every month for you guys to check out with me. It's usually stuff that people I know are releasing or stuff that I just like, and it's not necessarily just new stuff either. I'm joined here in studio with my dear friend Lucius, and we are just catching up on just this fucked up timeline that we live in. It's been crazy out here. Your girl is going through it right here.
Oof.
She is pressed right now, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, it's also the first time that we're actually able to do this in person too, which
You weren't in person on this show before?
No, because it's always been
Was somebody here
Zoom.
when you were on Zoom with me?
Tim.
Okay, I knew there was a body in the room. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
There was a gay presence.
There was a large gay body in the room.
And I am so, it can morph into different things. If you feel the queer energy and it's large and in charge, it's probably me.
It's an eclectic beast.
Mm-hmm.
Versatile.
Yeah.
Loving it. So there's so much we want to get into today. I wanted to catch up and kind of warm up on some of the headlines that we just have to address to sort of mark our place in history here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And have you kept up with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard at all?
I go in and out because I really have a hard time believing that Johnny Depp can do so wrong because I'm very sexually attracted to him.
Sure.
And
natural.
It's hard to break up with something that isn't there.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes. It seems very strong-handed in the Johnny Depp being more of a victim.
Yeah.
Than anticipated is kind of what it's turning out to be. So that's as far as I'm.
Well, especially I think a big part of the problem there too. She made it sound like it was so much more violent or criminal than maybe it was, and so it's coming out that actually. It wasn't nearly as bad as she was accusing originally, and she also, shit in his bed and whatnot.
What?
You didn't hear this?
No.
This is the main thing I hear. So I asked Joe, who is a production assistant of the show remotely from Rolla S&T, where he goes to school. He sent me a bunch of good content about the trial and funny moments, and then the whole like arc and stuff. I didn't watch most of it because I feel like I'm picking up so much of it by osmosis, just by being a porous mass near the news. I just absorb so much of it involuntarily. So I haven't dug through it as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one of the details is that at one point they had some sort of a dispute, and he woke up and there was, as he described, human fecal delivery on the bed. And then he confronted her about it, and she tried to blame the dogs. And so he said in court on the stand, he said, I had to disagree with her because I had lived with those dogs for several years, and this was not fecal matter from those dogs.
Dude, could you imagine that argument where he's just like, did you just shit in my bed?
Did you shit
Did
in
you
our,
just shit
our
in my
bed?
bed?
She shit on his side of their bed.
She just like woke up in the middle of the night, dropped trout, or maybe she was probably already naked, let's be honest. Went over, squatted down, and then just shit. How could you hate somebody so much?
She probably squatted over the bed, shat on the bed, and then went right to the shower.
Yeah.
That's a good move.
You got to clean yourself.
That's what I would do.
You know?
Yeah, I would have to hose down.
And then her trying to blame it on the dogs, but it's like a clearly human shit.
Yeah,
like you know a dog shit from a human shit.
Right.
She's like, no, it's the dog, and he's like, I will have to respectfully disagree here. My dogs shit in tiny nuggets pushed together to make one big log, where this is clearly, not of that consistency. I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree. Are you getting more details? Juicy?
I was just looking over, like, I don't want to start blasting the microphone with TikToks right now, because that's really where I get the most accidental news, because I don't sit in bars and watch TV anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really listen to radio that would include news.
Right. Yeah.
And so I get it from podcasts and TikTok mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And just because they're forcing me to listen to it, like I'm not seeking it out. I don't follow Anderson Cooper on the gram or nothing. Actually, I might.
Wait, what?
I was saying I don't follow Anderson Cooper on Instagram, but I might. I wouldn't be surprised if I did.
Oh, yeah.
Anderson Cooper.
Silver
Anderson
Daddy,
Cooper.
cut from the loin of...
I don't know. He's a little white for me.
I love that transparentness. I want to see
He's a little translucent.
I want to see
handsome
through
guy.
you. I want to know everything about you.
Yeah. I can see his blood moving.
He's a little vampiric.
Yeah, that's the thing. He needs
Yeah.
some iron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to get him a beet salad.
A beet salad.
Beet and spinach. It's got good iron and shit. And maybe maybe a whole rotisserie chicken from Sam's.
I can do that.
That's the funniest thing. I talked to somebody the other day, and they said, I had an idea. Oh, I have this idea about like a delivery truck full of rotisserie chickens.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like where it's like a big ice cream truck, but instead of ice cream, truck. It's rotisseries with chickens. And then we could pull over. You could flag us down. We could park for events. We could deliver in the app or whatever. But
yes.
But also just we can pull up and we'll spatchcock you a fresh rotisserie chicken, maybe a scoop of taters, bitch. I mean, whatever. So I was talking about that idea, and somebody had asked me like, you would sell the whole chicken. I'm like, have you never done keto? Where that's like what you eat 3 times a day is a whole rotisserie chicken because it's all you're allowed to eat.
And it's delicious.
And it's the best thing to eat when you're on paleo or something.
Guilt-free fucking like, no.
It's like, fuck it. I'll eat the skin too. I'll eat the skin. Skin is not why I look like this.
Yeah.
I don't look like this because of skin.
Well, I look like this because of extra skin.
Well, I have extra skin now because of the other things.
But, I'm going to keep the skin on to...
Oh yeah, it's just because that's where they put all the juice. You know what I mean? When and it's rotisserie. I mean the toxic fat drips out.
Honestly, that's what one of my biggest dislikes of living in an area where you don't have a lot of good grocery stores. Because
no curry in Curryville.
Because you don't have easy access to.
What if that's their rule and that's why? What if the thing is like no curry in Curryville? You better not. You better not. It'll make your whole sink orange.
Orange. I tried curry one time and my mouth burnt so bad. I knew that this had to be deemed illegal. Mm-hmm. So that is why, as your mayor of Curryville, there is no more curry allowed.
Should be mayor of Curryville. I think I told you that when I went out there.
I think that I could be, but I'm too liberal.
Well, you don't have to tell any of them that.
Yeah, but am I not just living a double life at that point?
Well, no, but there's probably things that they need that you would give them because an issue that you believe is important, and then it would benefit them. So if we just lean really hard on that, if we just say, listen, we need to update some of our services for our community, and like all you motherfuckers need jobs.
Oh, I mean, like they have jobs. It's obviously
doing what?
You know, I don't know. They do it all in their houses with the lights on and you know, sheets of like 1990s Aladdin in the, you know, so they're working. I just don't know what they're working on.
What they're working on. What are they building in there?
Yeah. I think they're chemists or something. I don't know.
What about the foil? Did they get to the foil? Is that cocaine that people put foil on the windows?
Either cocaine or meth. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't.
You know what? I was just at brunch. Shout out to, this is not a sponsor. Shout out to The Attic Music Bar and their sister restaurant in the same building as them downstairs. Who Dat STL. Lovely Southern brunch to celebrate my brother's girlfriend's birthday. Just before I came here, I had a whole alligator sandwich. Not a whole alligator. I had a whole sandwich that included alligator. And so I'm primed and ready. I feel good. Nothing fires me up like a little remoulade in the morning. And but why were we talking about that? What had you just said?
I have no fucking
idea.
idea.
Fuck.
Dude, you took it and I was like, I'm here for it, but you're not going to get anything else from me from back there. I'm moving forward.
We were talking about food.
Curry and
that's the best part of Amber Heard shitting on the bed is that Johnny Depp testified in court that not just that she shat on the bed, but she shat on the bed after eating a cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell.
Are you serious?
That's what he said
Do
in
not
court.
fuck with me right now.
I would never.
Serious?
I would absolutely never. He literally said,
celebrities are humans.
Yeah,
too,
Amber ate a cheesy gordita crunch from Taco Bell, and then she shat on my side of the bed and blamed it on our Bichon Frises, who are 13 pounds apiece.
What?
The dogs are small. They're the same dogs they tried to take to Australia. Remember when they got in trouble for taking the dogs on a private jet to Australia because you're not supposed to fly with animals internationally like that because it's there's all kinds of laws about that. You could really fuck some things up, and they had to make a video saying, "Hey, listen, you can't fly into Australia with dogs. Don't do it. We made a mistake. We're sorry." And then she ate a cheesy gordita crunch, shat on the bed, and then blamed it on the cute little toy breed show dogs that they had.
That's very chaotic.
It's mad chaos energy in the Depp Heard household.
Oh my God. It's like
and I think they're divorced, but he's suing her for defamation. That's why they're in court.
Yeah. Well, you got to take control of your own destiny.
Well, and a big part of it is because of the, she like accused or insinuated or falsified evidence of greater domestic kind of aggression than was actually happening. And he recorded so many like phone calls and videos of arguments with her that they played in court and stuff. It's crazy. It's too much to keep up with. But it's also so weird. Like, I don't feel like this is the trial that needs to be on TV.
Absolutely not.
Like Kyle Rittenhouse.
We just got over Will Smith. Okay.
Yeah, we need to take that to trial. There's some, and I think everyone who's in the audience has to testify, and I think it'll take 3 months, and I think it'll be good work for them.
But I think that the people that need to go to trial are just the internet needs to go to trial on that.
I didn't even know the Oscars were happening until after that happened.
Yeah, I only knew the Oscars were happening because the Grammys were happening the week after.
I didn't see any of the movies that were in hot conversation for the Oscars, but I did. I did watch the trailer for one of them. Or no, maybe it's newer than that. Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg made a really crazy movie about this.
Oh my God, my parents told me about that the other day. They
died of ALS.
The
movie looks offensive. Like, it looks like really not great.
Yeah.
And the trailer's awful. The trailer is so bad that it starts with 30 seconds of Mark Wahlberg as Mark Wahlberg talking about how honored he is to get to make the movie. And then it goes into 3 minutes of the movie, and I've already seen too much of it with that.
Wait, can you give me just like a quick synopsis of like what?
So Father Stu is a boxer who then can't box anymore because he has brain damage, and then this was based on a real guy, and then he wants to go to Hollywood to be an actor, but that doesn't necessarily work out, and they try to play it like he was getting like casting couched by like a alleged big shot Hollywood guy when he was in that point in his life or whatever, but it's also like this guy was just a professional boxer.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that that's the target. And there's a lot of weird conversation about like homosexuality in the Catholic Church, like in the movie.
Oh, interesting.
And it was a part of this guy's journey, I guess. And then he decides he wants to be a priest. But then it's like he can't be a priest because he's too sick because he has ALS. And then but then people start coming to see him at like the hospital all the time and stuff. I don't know. And then Mel Gibson
Because they're like proud of him getting over
and the whole
his
thing is just
homosexuality or something.
No, it's not. He's not the one that's gay. It's his like roommate in seminary or something that's gay.
Oh, like an accountability buddy sort of thing.
Yeah, accountability buddy. He's like, will you watch this dude, please? Don't let this guy suck you off. Whatever you do, please don't let him.
No matter what Steve
Listen,
says.
Marky Mark. And that's the thing. And so it's set in like Montana, but Marky Mark is trying to do like a weird Southern accent. But he's also Marky Mark, and he's not good at accents, and it's not even an accurate accent to the period or the place.
Well, because all he can do is Boston. So
well, that's the thing, and so it's like Boston, 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 Texas. You know what I mean? It's like that. Those are the syllables in his sentence.
Yeah.
And so that's fun.
So can I quick side story? They're at so I heard this story from work that somebody was offended in a Boston retail store that somebody else used a Southern accent to address them. Like, where like I would think it's normal to be like, "Hey y'all, how's it going?" But somebody was offended
that they faked an accent.
They're offended. Like
that's like, remember Bo Bice from American Idol? And he had long hair, early American Idol. I think he was the same season as Carrie Underwood, maybe like season 6.
Yeah.
Not that I'm that deep into the dogma of the Idol, but Bo Bice was like the runner-up, and he had long hair, and he's like a walking in Memphis type dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as if that's a euphemism. We should coin that.
Yes.
And but then it was like he was at a chicken restaurant and somebody called him a white boy and told him to leave, and he was crying on CNN.
Oh my God.
It was great. That's worth Googling. Let me include that here in my notes.
I'm white.
It's like, and they said, "Hey, white boy," and I said, "Hey, I like chicken too." I didn't get it. I didn't get what I was supposed to. Man. So, yeah, so that's good. So you should watch that. Did you see the Batman
I'm definitely
yet?
going to now. What?
Did you see the Batman yet?
No,
I didn't either.
I'm on a data plan where I have to budget my data, so I have to be
That's
very pointed.
insane.
Yeah.
You are off the grid.
Yes.
Is it a satellite?
It's a satellite internet
Holy
that I pay
fuck.
$200 for 150 gigabytes a month.
Why don't you just run a cable down the highway to Walmart?
You can't. They don't have it either. Oh, I guess they do, but yeah.
I mean,
you think Walmart's that impenetrable?
Just run an Ethernet cable under the door. If it's 24 hours, they're never even going to notice. They're not locking anything.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so I have to. It's Netflix is like if I'm out of gigs and it's like ass slow. It's
Jesus.
Netflix,
I should send you home
or
with
I play
some
Skyrim on a Switch because you don't need internet. So.
Yeah, I should just send you home with some CDs.
If I could have a GoFundMe for fucking data,
well,
that's what's proud.
But that's the thing. It's like obviously where you live, people are gonna start living in places like that.
Well, the Amish are thinking about moving out because it's too expensive.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I'd love to talk about the economics of being Amish.
Yeah.
What do you know about that?
What I know is that they have 3 shops up there. They have a butcher shop, a wood furniture shop, and just like a general goods like honey and soaps and stuff like that. And they also they also go to Walmart too. So that's where I'm curious, because they'll go in there and you'll just see a line of people and then just one Amish woman with like full garb.
Well, what is she buying?
Everything. They have full carts like somebody else named Tammy would have. Like it's the same person, just 2 different clothes on. But then they go out and they go to their horse and buggy that's in its own stall that they have at Walmart. Like
they have a buggy stall at Walmart?
Yeah, like full of horse shit. I mean, they clean it up because they're nice, but
that's what it's for, is to cater to that community.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I wave to them. I'm very like, I see you. And oh my God, the other day I was.
I mean, it is truly, I mean, an example of living amongst diversity, right? It's just, it's a funny to think of it that way.
Yeah.
Because I think we think of diversity has to mean like a,
liberal,
biracial international citizens of the globe or something. But, I mean, to live amongst a community or adjacent to a community that's that, living their faith that out loud and like it's a part of their whole, standard of living, that's fascinating.
Like I have the idea,
and you know what, my Aunt Mary loves this Amish farm that makes wooden furniture, and it's like her favorite gift to get people. They like they like do furniture.
It's probably
for her,
like
and
the
it's beautiful.
best wooden horse you've ever fucking seen.
Rocking horse.
Yeah,
Made out of wood.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially. I mean, I just can't imagine, and it sounds beautiful. The idea, somebody carving wood for a table, and it's obviously a a boutique market.
Just
it's
like
not
very
it's
like
not what where the mass
hand-lathed.
thing is. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're shaving it. Do you watch any of that on TikTok?
Oh, that's. But when I fall asleep, I watch How's It Made.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a good one.
I watch that all the fucking time.
Because there's guys that chop wood on TikTok. There's a guy that makes tools out of just rocks and shit in the environment. And he's like always in a little hut that he like carved himself,
Love it.
Or something. So that's very satisfying. I'd love to watch. We should do that for the podcast. Go watch the Amish make a table.
Let's do it.
Would they let us do that?
Probably not, but I will start the introduction because where I live, and I talked to one of my neighbors who has a deep rooted.
Okay, this is your assignment. This is your homework. This is your podcast homework. Is looking to this.
So the neighbor that I have up there has a deep rooted lineage with an Amish family, like her grandfather and met an Amish person back in like World War II or whatever. And then they became friends. And like that Amish person was like, this is the only English person that I trust. So those families grew together. And so they don't trust obviously many people. And so I'm thinking from what she's saying that when I go in there, I'm going to be an anomaly.
Yeah.
To them. And I'm okay with that.
Would you think?
But I want to go in there to like make them like feel like it's okay. Like I'm still like
and that you're like appreciative of their culture, and that they're like, and I don't even know if you would be on their radar.
Not at all.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I do have a very distinct car, and when I drive, and I go to Walmart all the time.
No, but I just mean like if you were in line with a family of the Amish at Walmart, would they even think to question anything about you or your identity?
Well, the way that they look at me, it looks like they do.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, you think they are confused?
Oh yeah, just because we're both looking at each other like
what are you?
Yeah, because they're used to all the people up there with their Tweety Bird leggings and shit, But I come through
with a cracked Android.
Yeah, I come through with like trigger warning big tits and like a masculine face, and then they're just like, what?
I like that we're at a point where we can trigger warning big tits. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
So that's great. So okay, but yeah, feel that out delicately. Just see if you can identify an opening. Maybe one of their children is a fan of the show. I doubt it.
We can make them.
But that's the thing we should. Maybe we should go after the children first. We'd be like, Daddy, Jacob wants to come watch us make a table. And we're like, who? Brother Jacob from the speaker box.
You know that queer?
Yeah. Yeah. He's this queer gentleman who's on the radio.
Yeah, he's queer, but he's got a good energy to him.
He's got a good heart, and he's got a beautiful heart of worship, Daddy.
I think that we can influence him.
I think we can bring him. We can save him.
We're just both doing the same thing to each other.
Yeah, what are we doing right now?
I love it. They're so awesome, though. I saw the other day a small horse, like like what do you call it, like a miniature horse?
A miniature horse.
Okay. Pulling 3 children on a carriage down the road, and it was so surreal because I'm like, am I in a movie? But it's just like 3 small children, maybe 8 at the most, was like at the helm of the small horse, and it was just so perfect and so cute.
That is adorable. I love those little are they Highland horses they call them?
I couldn't even tell you what a miniature horse was for a second.
Yeah, that's right. You're not the one to ask. Those are really cute. Or maybe I'm thinking of Highland cows, the little fuzzy cows.
Yeah, maybe.
I do love a cow. That's kind of our next thing. Is actually my wife mentioned you in your living situation the other day as something to kind of think about with our the next place we want to live. We kind of want to be a little more disconnected.
Yes.
And because we want to have space, to have a couple rescue llamas.
Yes. Are you serious? Because I love that.
No, we do. We really. That's like if I had won that Powerball that just hit.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be working on. I'd be sizing up property, maybe not far from where you are. I mean, if you're thinking about you want to be adjacent enough to a robust enough suburb that you have access to food and medical care and stuff when you need it, but you don't necessarily want to be like where I am now, like packed into the ant farm.
Yeah, and I mean, I talk shit on Curryville just because it is.
I mean,
but
culturally,
I
it's crazy. I mean, culturally, it's really hard. It's a
Yeah.
different time. It's like watching. Not There Will Be Blood. What's the other one? No Country for Old Men. You know what I mean? It's like a True Value hardware store is also the grocery store and like things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like people are buying eggs and milk at the True Value.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love small businesses, and but I'm just thinking like it's just so different than how like we live like here. You know what I mean? But also in a way that like, especially since COVID, it's like we got really good at doing the things that we value the most kind of at home or from home.
Yes.
I would definitely need good internet though. So not quite as remote as
I think it's on the way though. There's a
Yeah.
thing called Gateway Fiber that's like in Vandalia, which is like next door. But Vandalia's a little bit bigger. Curryville only got 257 people. So
yeah. 257?
Yeah, the sign says 256.
Oh,
but I included myself.
We should both run for mayor.
Yes.
Like as a shake and bake.
We can make it like
shake and
we can
bake
make it like
maneuver.
a turd sandwich and a douchebag kind of situation.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if I can, because I'd rather be vice mayor. I don't want to be the primary mayor because I worry about getting assassinated.
You know what? I have a campaign already. I'll campaign to clean up the streets of dogs because I have saved. I've already saved one dog, but I've seen 5 other dogs on the side of the highway on 61 just loose, and they're like nice looking dogs. Like I am actually very troubled by how many people are just throwing away their dogs in the country.
No, well, it's crazy. That's where Piglet came from, my middle. She's a husky Staffy American Bulldog. What was we got the genealogy. What's the other thing? German Shepherd mix. And her mom looked a lot like a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
And her siblings all have kind of mixed coloring, but definitely all kind of shepherd mixy kind of presenting.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful. She's like breathtakingly gorgeous. She looks like that elf queen from Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? Like she glows. And she's so vibrant, white and gorgeous. But yeah, her mom was dumped in the country, like fully pregnant with 12 puppies.
That's so fucked.
You know what I mean? And it's not because they're ugly dogs or something necessarily. They just weren't necessarily planned.
Because like people are just like.
And Oswald got rescued from
decisions.
a farm horde of like 40 pit bulls that were on one farm together.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of places where these things have the space to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's small places like this. So yeah, so I definitely think we could start with that. It's like, listen, we don't want the dogs on the streets. We don't want to hurt the dogs. We don't want to see the dogs to get hurt. We have the infrastructure. It's going to be really easy to clean this situation up. We just got to make it a priority. I think that's great. We should do like an Obama Hillary thing where we do a debate, but you always say the right thing first, and then all I can do is agree with you. So it's like, she's a genius. I can't believe it. The shake and bake from like Ricky Bobby.
Shake. I forget the other half.
The maneuver is that they were racing the cars, and then John C. Reilly would be in front to cut the wind tension,
the whiplash,
and then he'd catapult Ricky Bobby to first place.
Yeah, isn't that in another movie too?
Probably. It's an actual maneuver in racing. It's probably in Fast and the Furious where they you drift somebody
it was in Whiplash, like literally the movie Whiplash with sorry, are you
about
not
the
gay
drummer?
enough are you not lesbian enough for that reference? It's with Elliot Page, Drew Barrymore, the woman who does what is her name? I'm not doing her justice. She does all the stunt moves. She was in the I think it was a Rob Zombie movie with Kurt Russell. Fuck, somebody's screaming the name out there right now, and
Goldie
I'm really
Hawn.
sorry. Kind of looks like her, but a little bit. But anyway, so it's a movie about roller derby in
Kate
Texas. No, it's not Kate Hudson. No, it's
Kate
like
Hudson's mom.
It's like she'd be a doppelganger to Kate Hudson. I kind of
I don't
agree to.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they do this maneuver where
This sounds like a movie I would watch on an airplane.
one girl. Oh, Kristen Wiig's in it too. One girl's on going around the ring, and then they take Elliot Page and they just like whip her around it because she's so small and maneuverable. And so that's what popped up in my memory for that whiplash. So I'm very happy to be the catapult, the change that needs to be in Curryville.
Yeah, I think, and with those numbers, I mean, you're like 0.3% of the whole population.
Mm-hmm. And I'm already a hero to the locals because I did save a small dog at like 8:00 at night on the side of the road. And a literal semi truck went right past it. I was like, is that a dog? And it's a Shih Tzu.
Oh, a little Shih Tzu. That would be heartbreaking.
With a Christmas sweater on.
Oh no, save that baby.
So I pulled immediately over and I was like, come here. And then so I went to the first house, which was the only one that was lit up, and it had those like that jasmine covers on the windows instead of blinds. And I'm like, I have to do this for this dog, but I think I'm gonna die. So like knocking on the door and like,
no, it's like The Walking Dead. Like any country house they walk up to, it's like, okay, there could be zombies, cannibals, there could be
this is gun country,
marauders. That's the thing too.
Yeah,
it's like I'm within eyesight of their doorway, so they could totally shoot me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had that thought, and I was very nervous. But they had new metal blaring also.
Oh, that's also great.
Like, bah,
that's
bah,
fucking
bah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
and then
bro.
So I set the dog down. I'm like, okay, just find your house. Can I lead you to your house?
Do you like this music, or are you more of a Jimmy Buffett guy?
Yeah. And I was like, these people don't have a dog that has fucking Christmas sweater. So I went across the street.
The dog's name is Darcy.
Yeah.
Listen, Darcy, definitely. Do you like Limp Bizkit, or should we keep looking for your home?
Yeah.
I just thought this
your
was
hair's
it.
Tied up. This is too. Somebody cares for this dog.
It's weird that they'd be listening to Limp Bizkit and Korn and put you in a Christmas sweater. It just doesn't mix well for me.
No.
It made for that population that I wouldn't be surprised if that was her house. Did you find her house?
I did. Yeah, I went to one house and they were like, "Oh, there was a lady that was looking for one." I was like, "Oh, awesome. Where does she live?" And they're like, "I don't know, 3 houses down or something." I was like,
"Oh, that could be 3 miles, dog."
Yeah. And then so I went to the second house and some kid opens it up and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, is your parents home?" And it's just a guy sitting shirtless on a shitty couch. And I'm like, "What do you need?" I'm like, "I have a dog here. Do you know if anybody's been looking for it?" And then he's like, "No." And then I leave and then I hear him yell, "Hey boys, you know anybody who's looking for a small dog?" And then he comes back to the door. He's like, wait, my sons know. And they're like, "It's the girl, it's the woman next door." And I was like, "Thank you guys so much." And then I start walking to this house that's like completely no lights.
Yeah.
And I see this little old lady come around the back and I'm like, trying not to scare her. I'm like, "Hey ma'am, is this your dog?" And she's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." Like,
that would be so scary.
What did she say? She like, I put like the, it was something like I put the Christ in Christmas type of like affirmation that I got from her. But I was like, just happy to, get that dog to the rightful owner. But I was definitely fucking nervous. I met a lot of
that's
neighbors.
crazy.
So now if I go back and I'm just be like,
so what we need to do is reenact some of that rescue operation for the
Michael
campaign
Bay style.
for the campaign footage.
Yeah.
It should be like Taken, but it's you and Darcy in the Great Plains of Curryville, marching across the horizon with this little Shih Tzu, and she's scared, but she loves God.
At the end, she's like just like kind of like next to me, just like prancing.
Yeah, Darcy.
I'm like sad that I have to give her up.
Darcy has to come on the campaign trail with us.
Every time I see a dog, my first immediate thought, whether it's a split second or 5 minutes after, is, do I keep this dog? That's the first thing I ask myself. Like, am I keeping this dog? And then I have to talk myself out of it.
Was she giving you much of a fight?
No, she's a sweet little Shih Tzu, like a family dog. Like,
so she was cool with you. So she may have been like, "This is just who I live with now.
Yeah,
I ain't going back out on that road."
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think she would have been totally happy to be with me.
Listen,
but
I don't know.
wouldn't have
I
been
don't know
happy.
you, but you saved me. So whatever you
Yeah.
want to do, whatever you eat, I eat. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Darcy, I can see the footage now. I'll start working on this. We can. I think if I steal enough B-roll from the internet, and
I'd love to see some Disney caricatures.
maybe that's if we did a Disney, like an old school Disney animation of you and Darcy on the road to redemption through the plains of Curryville. It may actually be cheaper.
Yeah, but I want to look kind of like more of a prince, but with like an actual like the man prince vibe.
Yeah, Prince as the prince.
Like Prince, like a Disney prince, but make it glow.
Yeah. But like with the mustache and everything.
Yeah, make it gay.
Yeah. Did you see when they had Prince on the Animaniacs?
No.
He was just like in one shot, but it was like a doodle of Prince like that. It's worth looking. I don't know if I can put it on the stream though. I mean, I guess people listen to this, but Animaniacs Prince, we don't have to watch the clip, but there's a pretty good oh yeah, this is what I'm picturing right here.
Is that the
can you see that over my shoulder?
NSFW too? Yeah, I can.
Yeah, so I mean, delicately drawn, elegant.
I like it.
Yeah. The pink with the shoulder pads. I see you in like a sky blue double-breasted suit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With like big like buttons with like anchors on them.
Yeah. Like I'm not a rhinestone person, but I will wear glitter.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Some local stuff I was reading. Oh God, that was a saga we just went on. I really feel like I was on an emotional journey with Darcy.
I mean, I'm sorry to give it to you, but
I'm so glad she made it home.
Story. I know.
What was the home like? What did it look like they did there?
Like she was retired for years. Like,
was there like junk?
No, it was probably like the nicest house on the block.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
Mm-hmm.
And brick?
Sort of
siding?
Like wood siding, like the big panel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But too dark for her to be there. I don't feel safe with her there. But
yeah, like she turn on a light, lady.
Turn on the light.
Darcy doesn't know where to go.
Also, I would have never gone to that house first. So if your dog's missing, please turn on a light.
Yeah, turn a light on. We should
stand
get
out
like
front.
like a slowly flashing dog light that says, "My dog is out."
Right, exactly.
If you see a dog, follow this light.
Yeah.
Maybe like a spotlight in the sky of a little dog.
Ooh.
Like the bat signal, but it's a little dog. It's like, oh, somebody lost their dog. If I see a dog, I'm gonna walk towards the light. We're in a band that has material still active, so we can say that we're still in it, and I think we're going to do more stuff. That Baywatch theme song has been haunting the simulation that I live in.
I forgot about that
a lot lately, so I do think we should revisit that. So we're in a band called Too Deep, TOODEEP, but there's a rapper from St. Louis called 30 Deep.
Ooh.
30 Deep Grimy is his name, and he was just in the RFT, which is my favorite thing to pull silly articles from for the show. He wrote a diss track called Dead Goofies. It has no chorus or refrain and no auto-tune. It's straight rap, jam-packed with so many specific people, street names, and neighborhoods that it's indecipherable to anyone not from St. Louis. For 4 straight minutes, Grimy name drops all of his enemies, forgetting that he could be incriminating himself, forgetting the potential for retaliation. He raps about how, quote, Lil D tried creeping through that crib and how they shot his ass through the door. In the video, he roams alleys and points guns at the camera, dressed in the blue and orange of St. Louis's 6 Deuce Crips. I didn't know about that. He holds an AR pistol in one hand and a stolen street sign from an enemy gang in the other. He uprooted that sign from the ground in broad daylight, daring them to do something about it. Did you think twice about making Dead Goofies? The interviewer asks. Fuck nah, Grimy responds before Cotton even finishes the question.
Do we even finish? Do you regret? Fuck no.
He said, I've been in all situations all my whole motherfucking life. Fuck nah. St. Louis is the murder capital.
Is he really just a vigilante?
No, I mean, I think he's a performer, and I think this is probably his home community that he came up in.
Mm-hmm.
He's got more music on the way. But one of those situations where, he's stirring up a lot of. He moved a few blocks outside the Ville during his childhood. Still reps the area for them grimy. They call him Baby Arthur and then Little Arthur. So he graduated. He's got 3 forms: Baby Arthur, Little Arthur.
Can you pull up a picture of him real quick?
Yeah, I'm looking at him right here. He's
okay.
Let me put him up here for you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there he is. There he is.
I love his smile though. He
looks happy.
He looks really happy there.
I'm not going to play any of the song because I don't want to get flagged, just for using somebody else's song. But yeah, he's got a nice grill. He probably got that over at that spot on Delmar, I bet.
Mm.
They do grills there, and he looks enthusiastic.
Looks young.
He's young. Oh, he's super young. He may not even be. How old is he?
Oh.
He's been around for a couple years. He's definitely recognizable. His dad was a 6 Deuce Crip. His mom was also a 6 Deuce Crip. Even his grandparents were 6 Deuce Crips. That's what it says here.
Wow.
I didn't know we had Crips here that long. But his grandparents could be in their 40s for all we know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's a lot. So basically, he's basically doing what he shouldn't be doing. If you're gang affiliated, is calling out.
He's just drawing a lot of attention to himself, and I mean, I've had students who were killed in situations like of gang violence and shit talking like this that goes back and forth. So it definitely happens around here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's a mythical thing. It's not like getting sucked into an escalator,
right?
Which very rarely happens.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
He was arrested for gun charges in January of last year. He's still awaiting trial for that, but he's out on bail. And the RFT has insinuated that he may have to move. So that,
I would say so. Is there a witness protection for rappers?
Rapper protection program?
Yeah. Dude, I could probably make that. They're not going to go out.
Bro, what if we started rehabbing like abandoned farm space on Curryville for rappers that are in a hot beef?
Yeah.
Holy God. Write this down.
Hey, the band's all here.
The band's all here, and they're all paid actors. Olivia Wilde was served custody papers from former fiance Justin Sudeikis on stage at CinemaCon.
Okay. I did see that.
Jason Sudeikis from SNL?
Yeah, but he's claiming that he's mortified that happened. Is what?
Oh, really?
He said, yeah, because I was like, that is so ballsy. That is so fucking like, it's like a joke, but like the worst joke. Like if it actually came from him. But I wonder
what her reaction was like.
Oh, it was very calm and professional. Like she receives the paper. She was like, "Oh, I wonder what this is," and she opened it up and she was like, "Okay, got it, thank you," and then just went on with her presentation like it was no big deal. I thought that was like I fell in love again with Olivia Wilde.
I already love her.
Yeah,
and she's too cute for him. I like him. He's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's I'm under the belief that it was the third party that
whoever
wanted to do the
process server
yeah
made the judgment that was the appropriate place or time, and it wasn't, but it wasn't like he said you have to deliver it to her at this point. You know what I mean? That was not his he probably didn't even know when it was going
exactly
out.
Yeah,
I mean if he's but custody papers, they have children together.
2 kids I believe.
Really? Well, great. Ellen's on a farewell tour on her show that I thought was already over.
Yeah, I was too. I keep seeing it pop up.
And it's so awful because what happens is they leave that channel on in my dad's house for the bird.
Okay.
And we've talked about Puffer on the show. And she... so a lot of the times if I stop by there to let the dogs out before I go to School of Rock, because it's on the way... Ellen will be on the TV. It's happened like 4 times because it's just that time window, I guess. I guess she's on at like 2:00.
Yeah.
And the show is mostly pre-taped and mostly like people that have been on the show before coming back on to say your show has been so important to me and my career. Bethany Frankel was just on. Apparently she left her TV show to do philanthropic work, which includes rescuing refugees from the Ukraine. Wow. She's been doing fundraising and routing resources to relocate and support humanitarian efforts since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And that's where we are in society now. We're bidding farewell to Ellen as if she's like Frodo Baggins and she saved Middle Earth and she's going to Valinor to die peacefully. Yeah. And Bethany Frankel is the world's leading humanitarian.
But she couldn't go out with at least one more scandal.
As Bob Reuter once said, if Kim Kardashian... No, what did he say? Bob Reuter said that if Lady Gaga is Bob Dylan, then Kim Kardashian is Martin Luther King.
What?
That's what Bob Reuter said. And that's what this reminds me of.
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea who Bob Reuter is.
Oh, KDHX, late KDHX DJ, local legend kind of dude.
So like a real elite type.
Yeah, cool guy. And no longer with us, RIP. And but he said that one time. But that's what I keep telling people. You gotta be on the right side of history, because I think what we need is, I think the Pope is going to try to get us back to the moon.
Okay.
And that's what's going to keep people from rebelling against the clutches of stimulants like Adderall, is because we're going to need Adderall to get to the moon for Christ.
For Christ.
I think that's going to be the angle. Clear. I think that's going to be the angle. I think they're going to say we need to claim the moon as a holy space.
Leave the moon alone. Okay?
Well,
leave it alone.
I don't know if that's really viable in our economic model right now. Well, I think the Kardashians and Elon are going to go settle on the moon with the Pope. And if we're lucky, they'll leave us some of the antibiotics and medications.
Well, one of the positives of being so far out in the northeast of Missouri is that you get really beautiful skies, and I purchased a telescope to stare at the moon. And so if I see a fucking advertisement on the moon one day, that's when I kill myself.
That would be upset. If you're just looking at the moon and it's like, brought to you by Denny's, Applebee's, Max.
I opened up a fortune cookie the other day from my local hotspot up in Vandalia, and the back of it was a ZipRecruiter advertisement.
My favorite is when you go to McDonald's and in your bag is a flyer to come work at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Well, customers are employees.
Yeah.
So, they're doing it right. But fortune cookie, leave them alone. I have a job. And if I didn't have a job, I would know that I could go to ZipRecruiter.
Like we were talking before we started rolling about how like the alcohol market is such that industry has been in place there for so long that it's hard to have a boutique, artisanal approach in the alcohol market, because there's so many things you need that can be provided for you by the industrial vendors of those products. And the fortune cookie game is like that. I mean, it's hard to get a fortune cookie that doesn't have a website on the back of the fortune.
Oh, you're saying that's a common... That was the first time I was assaulted.
No, it happens all the time around here.
Lucky numbers.
No, yeah, like you'll get a fortune cookie and there'll be all kinds of different stuff on it. And it'll be from, fortunecookie.net and, whatever, and like things like that. And because somebody makes those cookies and they make enough of them, they sell them in enough places, they can do such a volume that it's cheaper to buy the cookies with, the establishment message printed on them than it is to have a cookie that's ad-free. So, an ad-free cookie is much more expensive.
What that tells me is that I need to eat a lot more Chinese food.
Yeah, you don't eat enough Chinese food. How is it out there in Curryville?
It's not, the rice isn't dirty enough, but it's good. I mean, I'm satisfied, and then also unsatisfied after it.
Yeah, my friend Diamond moved to New Orleans for a while, and she said she got the shrimp fried rice. For the first time there, and it didn't look fried at all, but the shrimp looked beautiful.
Oh yeah,
so that's the thing, is like you move to New Orleans and the rice isn't dirty enough in the fried rice, and but the shrimp is real good.
Yes, I was discussing fried rice with a special someone, and one of my first experiences with fried rice was it's so dirty, it's basically black rice. At that point.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that I was eating at that point until I realized the trash that I was eating now. And I was like, this is obviously not processed enough.
Well, and it's just when they stir fry it in the wok, they take the day old white rice and they stir fry it in the wok with, all kinds of oils and sauces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even sometimes at like the hibachi joint where they do it in front of you, it's like, this isn't dark enough. Can you put some goo on this?
Mm-hmm. I'm not eating Chinese food to have a good time.
No, I'm hungover and I need it to fuck me up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to be taken within an inch of my life
yeah.
with the sodium.
Yeah.
I need a heroic dose of sodium.
I need heart palpitations afterwards.
Seriously, I want to feel my blood slowing down because everything's moving too fast.
Ever since I've been on testosterone, I can actually feel like I feel that. And I'm like,
you can feel your blood moving.
Yeah. Like you have to get blood work done a lot. And so when you're in the middle of like also like trying to be healthier in your life as well.
Yeah, that's got to be hard.
You get all these, all 16 different of blood type things back and everything's great and it's normal. And then you realize that you're on too much testosterone. You're like, I have been feeling a little bit like a bitch lately. and then it confirms it with the blood test. And so
it's like, definitely your blood work came back. You are a bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm showing here.
You're medically an asshole.
Medically speaking, you're a bull shark.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, it's, but it's a lot of fun though, because I kind of get like a second wind in life as well, because I'm actually like very motivated.
Yeah. Are you, do you have like Nextdoor or any of those neighborhood apps out there?
No, I don't. I've never felt the need to, because I can
I wonder if those people use it.
Fuck no.
Because it seems like around here, my phone gets pinged constantly with like low key, like racist, like questions in the Nextdoor app. Like
they're old school. Like I smelled gas the other day and I called my next door neighbor, like this, 75-year-old man. And I was like, hey, Melvin, do you smell gas? And he's like, no, I don't smell any gas. I'm outside right now with my cows. Like I can't go on the next door app and be like, does anybody smell gas?
They would smell gas. Well, because that's the thing too, the range. I think Nextdoor has a range of miles like Tinder or something. And I think that, you'd have like 4 people.
Yeah, and it's much easier just to drive up.
I'd
there.
love if
everybody's friendly.
If someone said like, "Yeah, we're smelling gas over here. Sorry, we're having a sweet 16."
Yeah,
that's just us. Don't mind us. We're gonna huff all this gas up real quick. Get it out your hair.
Well, Melvin, why didn't you invite me then?
I'm tired of people in my neighborhood talking shit. Like about people, even if when they're actually reporting suspicious behavior that may be evidence of or intention of a crime, I'm like, why don't you get off your fucking phone and go out there? If you're so big and bad, fucking go out there and you know what's best. Tell those people to quit trying all those car doors.
Somebody's got to be the catalyst of change.
Call the police if you want to call the police, but don't get in my fucking app and be like, hey, did y'all see these young gentlemen in the alley? I'm like, will you let the kids play in the alley? Let them play in the alley. What good is an alley if you're not going to wander down it on occasion?
Right.
You know who I want to complain about is the fucking like old guy in the bicycle with the trailer on it that goes dumpster diving every day.
What?
Oh yeah, there's this guy. Every time I'm working on a music video in the alley, he rolls by with his cart on his bicycle full of garbage.
I love that.
Well, but he's white, so they don't complain about him in the neighborhood group.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. It's expected.
But that's what I'm saying. That's my frustration with the neighborhood groups.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you're so big and bad and so full of what you think people need to be doing, why don't you get out there and say, hey, excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
But they won't do that.
They will not do that.
I wouldn't in St. Louis. You got 30 Deep Grimy out here shooting at people. I mean, what if that was 30 Deep Grimy coming down the street checking all the car doors and you went out there and said, excuse me, Mr. Grimy, and he went clack, clack.
Yeah.
Right back at you.
I mean, I lived in Benton Park and I was concerned sometimes, but I was just like, I'm gonna let you guys do what you do. I love you. And just please leave me out of it.
Yeah, give me a warning shot so I can get the dogs out the window.
The only thing that happened is that my car got totaled by somebody breaking into it, trying to steal my stereo. So
they wanted it that bad they totaled the car.
Well, because they had to rip out like the center console and like the front. The under windshield. I'm terrible with words today.
Dashboard,
thank you. Dashboard confessional. So I totaled my car by doing that. And it was a Saturday afternoon, like bold.
Well, that's when they had the time. They said, you know what? It's a nice day. I'm gonna have a glass of lemonade. I'm gonna strap in and I'm gonna gut this Acura.
Yeah. And you know what? I even tried to be my own detective.
Was that the Acura?
No, it was what caused me to get the Acura. It was a Toyota Venza.
Oh, a Venza.
Yes. It was my first car that I bought like with my own money.
Yeah.
And then I realized that
I sold that Escape
works.
to Carvana. They offered me crazy money for it, and shit was falling off of it like
really
left and right. Yeah, it was like 6 months after the warranty expired. I had like repeated like component failure. Like,
did you know going in how much you wanted for it, and then they exceeded your expectations?
Oh, sure.
Really?
Yeah, because I wouldn't have expected. This is right when the auto market started getting crazy, and I wouldn't have expected to get more than a couple grand for it on trade in, but they offered me like $5,000.
What?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
And they came to pick it up. Like I was at work and they came to work and picked it up.
What year was it?
That one was a 13.
Oh, that's fucking rigged. Dude, I sold my Acura to get my Subaru and it was like $2,500 or something.
Well, I think that may have also been before the crisis.
This was also before the crisis. This was October 2018. Nope. It was October 2019.
It wasn't really until 2021 that the auto market really started getting crazy.
Oh, that crisis. Sorry, there's so many.
The supply chain.
Yeah.
Supply chain. Speaking of the supply chain, are you going to Jack White in August?
No, but now I am.
We got 7 tickets. My mom bought 7 tickets.
And have you claimed them all?
Yeah, but there's more tickets.
Okay. Well, I'm going with you if I'm going.
Well, yeah, you guys should get tickets.
Oh, yeah.
And we can carpool.
Wait, when in August is it?
28th. I think it's a Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll schedule that. But that's the name of the tour is the supply chain.
I've been seeing shows like I've been like thirsty for them. Like I've never seen.
Well, you know what?
Before.
I've noticed that performing that the market is really hungry for live music because it was such a break.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which I don't necessarily. I'm not glad the break happened.
I'm not even hungry for live music. I'm horny for live music.
That's good. That's good. That's that bull shark testosterone.
Like when I go to see shows right now, I am giving it back to the performer. I'm like, yes, bitch, yes. Like at the Heavy Anchor. Oh God, what was that band's The Mall or something? Or was it The Mall? Oh, The Mall is an amazing group that I saw that I just discovered at that show.
Yeah, I don't know them. They from here?
Yes. Yeah.
MALL?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shout out to The Mall, not a sponsor.
Mm-mm.
Some musical artists do sponsor podcasts.
How so?
They'll buy ad time on a podcast to promote a new release or something. I don't think it's lucrative enough for them. I don't see it happening a lot, but I just typed in The Mall.
You just type in Fender at work to look something up?
I just went into green screen and I looked up Livewire.
Yeah.
Punk.bandcamp.com. They got punk.bandcamp.com.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I think.
Oh wow. Oh, this is good stuff here.
Yeah, it's real classic.
I can't wait to climb into that.
Okay, but I don't think that they'll disagree with me because I don't think that they're listening. But
wow,
they both.
That's not a shot on them. That's a shot on me.
They both look like amazing Buffalo Bill characters. And I'm trying to say this positively, but they know it's true.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
Oh my God. From
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
But his energy on stage was like so awesome. He just like gave it all. And
he looks like Bob Odenkirk.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of a mix between the two. And he's so nice and so wonderful. And they just played like really intense, like electronic music. Like his partner was mostly on, analog machines, and he was just singing and his mic broke and he like swung it around. I don't know, maybe like who does that? Like Freddie Mercury or somebody, and then just like slammed it down and broke it. And in my mind, I was like, did you get pro coverage on that?
A punk ethos to dance music.
Oh my God.
I'm okay. Sorry. Wow. Well, that's good. That's something to go check out. Man, we're making really good time here. I was talking to my therapist this week that she's noticing in this upcoming generation of young people, there's this problem where they have a maladapted perfectionism.
Mal meaning bad?
Yeah, poorly adapted perfectionism. It has this understanding that they have to perform or receive document of performing perfectly at things.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily rooted in being the best at that thing. It's rooted in, no, I have to get an A because I'm coming here to do a thing and I need the A. You know what I mean? She's, because I talked to her a lot about the teacher shortage in like, normal elementary and junior high and high schools, like I worked in. But also it's a huge problem where a lot of professors are leaving the college profession even before tenure and whatnot to go do completely different work because of this kind of phenomenon of, like she told me one of her clients is a college professor who a student came to a meeting in her office to talk about an assignment that she got a grade on that she didn't like and then refused to leave her office until she changed her grade to an A.
I mean, I've done that. I literally just did that, but I didn't hold anybody hostage.
Well, she was holding the office hostage. I guess she would have let the professor leave.
Wow. Yeah,
But she wasn't going to leave.
I deserve an A.
Yeah.
Because of all these things I did. So from what grade to what grade was she trying to go from like a D to a?
Oh, that I don't remember.
Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
No. Are you saying if it was a B plus, then maybe it's understandable to occupy an office? That's what I did.
Well,
listen, I really feel like you can give me the A minus on this one.
I've spent my whole life not giving a shit about grades, just to go back to college at 30 years old to give a shit about grades, because I need to be validated.
Yeah, that's like Caitlyn Jenner used to say.
Oh, please quote her.
Is sports gave me an arena to test myself because I had such a low self-esteem, and so I needed the challenge of competitive Olympic sports to really understand and feel confident in myself.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you feel like that about having homework at age 30?
No, I feel that about specifically learning about music.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought I was so dumb before that I would just could only play music that I was capable of
Dude, that's such a huge problem for me because I'm at this point in my career now where it's like, wait a minute, if I had started pursuing and learning all the things that I've pursued and learned just in my free time since I started, I'd be so farther in and so much better off, but I didn't even have the self-esteem to audition for anything. I was almost 30 before I even auditioned for anything for the first time. Because I was like, well, if there's an audition, I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid to do it. And so I never studied music at college directly because I just didn't feel like I was good enough to even audition for the program. Which, when you look at 18-year-olds going into most college programs now, there's really nothing I should have been afraid of.
Exactly. And that's what's unfortunate. But like myself, time can come again where you can pick up where you left off. And that's what I'm feeling right now. And what I'm finding out in these college courses that they also don't give a shit about what you sound like. It's just here's these set of rules, but also some of them are up to interpretation. This is just what's massively accepted by composers and musicians and everything. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And I find that completely freeing. Yeah,
if I could go back, if I actually had a self-esteem when I was 17 and a half, I would have decided to do the jazz tech program at Webster because I was going there for school anyway. And it's half jazz performance and half audio engineering. And that's really all the stuff that I had to learn over the last 10 years of my free time working, in the industry or whatever is kind of those two things. You know what I mean? Those two kind of areas of study is, playing professionally, and kind of the preparation that goes into that, and also the musicality of that whole thing. But then also the production and engineering side of it has been way more lucrative and way more in demand. When I play with my cover band, I have to run sound the whole time. And which also, stay tuned to YouTube and Patreon because I'm doing YouTube videos about my different tube amps, but also all the technology we started using even back in the 3 Deep days, you and me, to not use amps live. You know what I mean? But still sound like you're using amps live because that was, I think about this all the time. I had to start running sound and playing keyboard and guitar and singing half of the stuff on top of booking the thing or whatever. And I'm still kind of in that zone where with my cover band, I have to run sound and play guitar the whole time, but I like it because I like plugging stuff in and making sure it's working.
Me too.
The right way. It's almost like you get to the point where it's I'd rather do the work to make sure it's gonna get done than just say, oh, I don't have to worry about that and then something go wrong.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm right now as I'm kind of preparing my solo venture on the stage, I am having to figure out how to intersect both monitoring myself, looping live instruments,
Yeah.
and trying to make a performance out of pre-recorded and live vocals.
Yeah.
And
you
trying
really
to
got to
figure-
do it now. I mean, just out of
Yeah.
like, I was telling our friend this, whose videos I was showing you earlier, that for the live show, it's like, really, and in the cover band thing, we kind of work modularly where
Yeah.
if it's a cheap gig, we may just send a singer and a keyboardist with tracks.
Yeah.
If we can afford a drummer, that's the next thing you add, because tracks plus drummer plus live singer feels like live music a lot.
It's like elevated karaoke.
Yeah, absolutely. But having the drums really adds the live element to
Yes.
it, and then of course the singer part or whatever. But using tracks, even if you have 4 or 5 pieces in your band, can be really beneficial for I mean, it's just like, how many keyboardists would you need to perform a modern record completely live? You know what I mean? There's tons of layers of keyboards on everything.
Exactly. And I have an angle here where I have like a set, I don't know, like passion for like where I want to go with my music and everything. And so what my thought is that I really want to start playing out solo and kind of just like give the locals what they're thirsty for. And then once I get attention and people are kind of
The locals of
inspired-
Curryville.
Yes. And then
I will
hopefully-
seriously drive out there every week to host an open mic at Curryville. If you find me, where?
they have a town hall / police department.
Do they have internet there?
Same.
Because my new idea is I want to
stuff.
do an outdoor live streaming open mic.
What?
Because I want to set up a desk, and I want to have Pro Tools or whatever, a Logic probably up, and then people can come in and perform, and I can either drop a track in for them to sing or rap or whatever over, or I can build loops for them live and they can freestyle it, but then do it as a live stream, but also do it outdoors somewhere where, like, hopefully the idea is that we could get people that didn't know we were going to be there. They'd be like, oh, I'll drop some bars, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
If you're doing it like with the instruments and like Logic, for example, you could do it so easily live. And this setup that we have right here, I have audio happening on one machine and video on another. So, but if we were doing it on TikTok, like, we could just live stream it from an iPad on the corner of Jefferson and Gravois.
Yeah.
Like outside that 7-Eleven. And if I had like a plexiglass booth with the microphone in it.
Yeah. Do you want to know one of my show ideas?
Yeah.
So
did you see the Buckethead show at 2720 where it was just him and a full stack and his MPC?
No.
Paul Wood was there. Paul Wood, shout out. He's not on my Patreon though, so that's kind of funny because he should be. I'll send it to him. He's probably like, I don't do that shit. But Buckethead just came out. He had a full stack and a guitar and an MPC, like Kanye West uses. And he would hit a button and the track would start and he would just shred for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he'd wait and people would applaud. And then he'd hit the next button and he'd shred for 8 minutes. Yngwie Malmsteen does a very similar thing.
Sure. Yeah.
And because it just
I
makes
love
more
that.
sense. You could have a really beautiful sounding track and it's not on tape or a CD or something. It's like on a hard disk that, it's going to be reliable. And I'm definitely going to, and so much of my new material for my own stuff is, has lots of layers of keyboards and electronic drum components that it's like, even if I was going to add, like we were talking about, a drummer to that, you still want those things there.
Yeah, for sure. And
What is your idea for your new stage show?
Basically it's think of it more of like a variety show where it's like Lucius, McQueen plus like special guests. So I'm up there, I'm like, hey y'all, how's it going? And then, have a little bit of audience interaction. And then I bring up people that I have made music with, like featured, like you and I would play some Too Deep songs.
Sure.
And me and somebody else would play some other songs. And in between I'm, giving an opportunity for that person to kind of, give their Instagrams or shout outs or whatever. And then it's more of like,
Drop the links.
And then a hot 5 for a set and then back into it, just kind of like mix up the media.
And then you could do solo pieces on the transitions.
Yes,
too. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? It's like, that makes sense. And whenever someone's doing like I have a lot of Prince DVDs, concert DVDs. And so whenever you're shooting like a special like that, like not just a normal show, but something that's like, or if you're going to a town where somebody famous that you'll work with is going to be there or whatever, to have those cameos like that.
Yeah.
Where like, oh, maybe this guy, we're in St. Louis, so Nelly can come out for a song. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the dream.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
We talked about that when we went to EI. We were like,
Yeah.
if we can get Nelly to call Tim McGraw and get Tim McGraw in here.
Yeah. That's
We had Lion's Choice that day for lunch. Not a
I
sponsor.
just had Lion's Choice today.
You bitch.
Yeah.
I had an alligator sandwich.
Well, that's better,
No.
But
Lion's
technically,
Choice
that's Lion's Choice too.
Lion's Choice could
A
do
lion
an
would
alligator.
choose an alligator.
Do you have a Lion's Choice in Curryville?
The closest one is Troy.
How close is that?
45 minutes.
Oh, we should open one in Curryville.
Dude, you can't even keep a general store open. Like,
There's just not enough people to sustain a business.
Like the people that it's Curryville Fisheries put fish into our pond, and I noticed that the Mimi's Mart was looking for Curryville fishery drivers for fish. And I asked the guy when he came to deliver, I was like, do you guys own Mimi's Mart? And he's like, yeah, it's been a pain in my ass ever since we bought it. Like, and it's like the tiniest thing in the world. And like when you drive past it, you wouldn't think that there's life inside, but it's like a gab table. Like you got the red table talk. This is like the brown table talk of Curryville in this Mimi's Mart.
Maybe that segment would bring the Mart back.
Yeah.
What do they talk about there?
They talk about these poor women who come in there and are begging for money for milk for their kids, and kind of having like really shady comments like
Milk.
I told her to get on EBT, like really sad stuff where it's clear that they're talking about like an addict, that somebody's just like kind of roams Curryville and everything.
Yikes.
It's just the blue hairs just doing their thing,
Yeah.
just talking trash. And what else you got to do out there?
Is there a school district there?
I would imagine that they go to the Bowling Green.
Bowling Green. Wow.
Yeah, either that or no, because
Yeah, I need to include all this in my documentary.
yeah.
Jesus, that's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming up on our time here, and I know we had some other stuff we wanted to do while you're with me today. So, give me just a second. We could start winding this down, but stay tuned for Lucius to be on the ticket there in Curryville. As soon as I get that video at Darcy, we got to get that campaign video going. Yeah. And I think they'll be appreciative. They'll probably let us borrow Darcy for a couple hours for a shoot. If you're
gonna wind it down, I do have a shout out real quick.
Please.
So I will have my first single dropping.
Oh, good.
It'll probably be in late June. And it's called "Is This Thing On?" And I'm very excited to release it. It's literally just my first step out into the world. Music by myself, and I'm really excited. Are you
gonna master it yourself?
No.
Holler at your girl.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
You could send it off to Widman.
I actually have Mike Gerard help me out.
Oh, good. Yeah. That'll be great. Mike Gerard from Scuzz.
Yes.
Yeah, very talented. I talk about him a lot, actually.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't know this, but he had a crazy upbringing, like his adolescence, like in Hannibal.
I think Mike Gerard's amazing.
Yeah, he's great. He's beautiful and talented, and
it's like a total package.
He's an elfish.
Yeah,
but in like a royal sense.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
High elf.
Not just that he's small, but that he's got a otherworldly sort of divinity about him.
Like not Keebler, but not.
No, smoother, like Aragorn. No, not what's his name? Legolas,
yeah.
And that family. His daddy was on the moose.
That sounds more like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mike Gerard on a moose. Mike Gerard on a moose.
Graveless Studios.
Woo! Guys, that's another episode of Jacob V Weekly. High five. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Google, whatever. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Any interaction helps. We have an Instagram page for the show at Jacob V Weekly. You can contact the show for topics for future discussion at jacobvweekly@gmail.com. You can find original music by Jacob V, or by Too Deep, or by No Antics, or Blinded by Stereo on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer. You could Bing it. Hit the playlist on Spotify, Jacob V's favorite songs. We just hit May of 2022. That's 2 whole years of those playlists that not enough of you are subscribing to. Will you please go listen to what I'm listening to?
Please.
Caddyshack, patreon.com/JacobV. Be safe.